I want to start by saying something that's totally out of character for me. Namely, that I recently committed a felony in two countries on two separate continents. I got away with it, and I'm proud of it. Now, now let me back up. About 5 years ago, I went on an echo tour in the Middle East for about 8 days, and two of the people on the tour befriended me, and they were was a photographer and his assistant who were there taking pictures. Well, they're now a couple. Their name is Jamie and Cecilia, and they were much younger than me. And when you're old, young people tend not to befriend you. They think your balls have dried up. They think you're irrelevant. But they found something in me and they were people of elegant taste, and they were very exciting, and they were really fun people. And they invited me in their lives, and they were very cool. And we bonded. We bonded over our favorite movies. For example, my favorite Vietnam movie turned out to be their favorite Vietnam movie, a movie called Southern Comfort, which took place in Louisiana, not in Vietnam. And their favorite British gangster movie was a movie called The Long Good Friday, which I don't know if anybody's seen it, but it was with one of Helen Mirren's first movie and Bob Hoskins' first movie. It was a real masterpiece. So we had a good time, and we stayed in touch. They were British, and they were from Great Britain, which is a great place if you like cheese, and you like rain, and you like accents. And they lived in London, and so occasionally my wife and I travel a lot. We'd go to London, we'd see them. They'd have us over to dinner. They would come here for his work. They would take us. He was on an expense account. They would take us out to phenomenally expensive restaurants. It was a great relationship. And a few months ago, I get a message from Cecilia. It's telling me that she has a close friend who's got stage 3 or 4 cancer in Northern Ireland. And even though Northern Ireland is part of Great Britain and it's a great place, they don't have great cannabis laws like we do here. And she says, would I go and buy them some vape pens, some THC CBD vape pens, and ship it to them? And I said, sure, why not? That's the least I can do. And she sends me a screenshot of the specific pen she wants. I go online, find out where to get it. Turns out it's at a dispensary from which I've been barred. Now, let me tell you why I was barred from this dispensary. I bought something there with a credit card, and a few weeks later, I'm going through my credit card bills, and they don't use the real name in the bills. They use some a bland name like Consolidated Services, something like that. So at night, under the influence of cannabis, I'm going through my credit card bills, and I see a discrepancy there. So I call my credit card company up and I dispute the charge. So I go back into the dispensary a couple of weeks later. They say, well, Mr. Jacobson, we're sorry, you got to go clear it up with your credit card company. You can't clear it up here. So I would go to other places. So it turns out I have to find a new dispensary to get this vapor pen, and I do it. Okay. Now I got to ship it to Northern Ireland. Now the normal way I would ship things would be either use UPS or FedEx. But if anybody's ever used UPS or FedEx, they know who you are. And because they you tell them who you are, they have a database on everybody. So I realized I can't ship cannabis overseas using these things. So I got to go to the last resort. I got to go to the post office. So I go to the post office in a different zip code. I give them an address in the other zip code. I use the name of my principal from PS 154 in Queens. And his name was Sam Rothman. I figure I could pass for a Sam Rothman. So I fill it out, and you have to fill out this customs forms, and I want to know what's in the package. So I say to myself, and now at this point I'm doing this, I'm filling this out really quickly, and all of a sudden I'm starting to panic. And I realize that I can't say what's in the package. I'm a truth teller, but I can't tell the truth right now. So I'm starting to really panic because it's taking me long to figure it out. I'm feeling really conspicuous. I think everybody's looking at me. So finally I say to myself, what is the purpose of this gift? And this purpose of the gift is to help somebody deal with a life event, namely death. And I figure this is going to give them comfort. It's a palliative thing. So I wrote down, it's a present for a life event, And I go to the desk. I pay them in cash, And I leave the post office and I immediately figure, they're on to me. Everybody's going to follow me. They're going to follow me home from the post office. They're going to track me. They're going to arrest me. Within the next couple of days, I'm going to be arrested. I'm afraid to answer my phone. I'm afraid to answer my door. I'm afraid to look at my email. And then a couple of days later, I get a WhatsApp message from Cecilia with a picture of the package that had been delivered to Northern Ireland. Now, I've done very well in my life observing the rules, but I realize that now and then there are some rules that must be broken. And there's some guy in Northern Ireland who's having a slightly better Christmas because of me. Thank you.